Hello everyone. I'm just going over a couple reasons why I bought my new camera, which I'm recording on now, which is the Panasonic GH5s. So, um, one of the main reasons is right now I'm in a pretty dark, low lit room, and this thing's doing awesome. It's micro four thirds, and we're doing pretty awesome here in this low lit situation, which is very impressive. My other camera, I've got another video when I switched from Sony full frame over to micro four thirds, and my first camera I bought was a Panasonic G9. And while I love the camera, it would be struggling right now with the lighting I have set up in this room currently, and this camera does not at all. Now the G9 is still a great camera for video and stills. It's like probably one of the best hybrid options that you could buy currently on the market right now, as far as hybrid shooters go. If you want to do video and stills in one camera package, that would be what I'd recommend getting. But I did run some limitations with that, and I just wanted to correct that with the GH5s. And looking at the other offerings, the GH5 and the Mark II, which the Mark II is out now, they were both of those options are so similar to the G9. I felt that the G5s made had enough difference to justify the purchase of it, right? With the low light capabilities of this, as far exceeds the GH5 and the GH5 Mark II, which was one of the main reasons I got the camera. Also wanted a camera that did not have record limits on it, so I could sit here and just record, over the 29 minutes if I needed to. If I'm just doing a talking head, if I want to do an interview, whatever. If I want to go, record the local county commissioner meeting or something, whatever. I want something. I want to be able to do that if I want to. And this camera allows me to do that. It also has, shutter angle. It's got a lot of great video features that I like. Vlog standard. I did get the Vlog, like I said, for this, so I could easily match color grade video no matter what camera I'm using to shoot with. If I'm wanting to shoot it back up here. This is not my day job. I am a hobbyist, amateur hobbyist, whatever you like to call it. And I'm still learning. And I've been through a lot of camera systems over the past, 5 or 6 years going on this journey. Started out with Nikon, went over to Canon for a little bit, then I went to Sony. Once I decided I was going to go into, focus on videography and photography, as far as get more serious into it. And after Sony, I shot Sony so long, and I wasn't going out, I wasn't shooting, just because the glass was so big. The bodies were fine, but the glass, like the 400 millimeter lens on the Sony full frame, is huge. And I'm getting like this is a full frame 600 millimeter equivalent focal length. Now the f-stops, you got double that too, but this is a 600, and it's way smaller than the 400 would be for Sony or Canon. So Canon did have those f11s come out, and that's about an f11, 600 f11, at a full frame equivalent if you want to go precise. And Canon does have those two cheaper options that seem to do okay. But besides that, the body that would keep up with this is going to cost you double the price of the G9. So that's that. And currently, right now, on this GH5s, we are in autofocus mode. There's an app you can get on your phone, and it's really great. It works excellent, and I use it a lot with my G9. Have not used it yet with my GH5s, but with the G9, I take the camera app and I can go ahead and set focus where I want to, especially with the talking heads like we're doing right now. But right now on this one, it's autofocus, so that's awesome. See how that goes. It's kind of doing an autofocus test for you guys I'm not going to cut or anything. I'm just going to leave it as is. So you're looking at the GH5s autofocus. Is there pulsing? Is it hunting? Is it losing focus? More importantly, the little bit of pulsing, I don't mind too much. I know some people they don't like it, but for what I'm doing here, I don't mind it so much. I can see in like a professional setting where if I'm doing a documentary or someone's doing a documentary, not myself, but I can see where that could get not usable if that's happening. So it is what it is. But setting focus yourself is super easy with this, especially with the app, if you're not like directly controlling the camera. So that's that. Other than that, here we are, 2022 almost, and the GH5s and the G9 are going to go into this year strong. I feel that 6K and 4K isn't really needed right now, at least yet. Most people still are on 4K TVs. Monitor size, this 24, 32-inch monitor, you're probably not going to see the difference between 4K and 8K. You might tell a little bit, but not much. On your phone, not at all. So I think 4K is going to be the standard for a couple more years. Beyond that, we'll have to look and see, and just see where things are at, right? If 4K isn't cutting it anymore, kind of like 1080p is now, where you kind of really need to be shooting 4K. Now, I'm not saying 8K is not great. 8K gives you a lot of options that you don't have with 4K. Like you could crop and pan and stuff with the 8K footage and making a 4K video out of it. I'm not saying that there's no advantages of it. I'm just saying that it's not worth the trouble right now with the file size. The cameras that shoot it are way more expensive than even the GH5s, which I thought was a really expensive camera at like $15 to $1,700, whether if you get it new or used. I still think that's an expensive camera. So getting a camera that's, $3,000 to $5,000, that's for one body. That's a lot. But it is what it is. And if you're a professional and you need that, I could see justifying it. But me as a hobbyist, this is probably my limit. So that is what it is. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want to cut it off here. Leave in the comments what you think. Is 4K going to cut it the next year or two? Micro Four Thirds, are they going to survive another decade? I think so. I think they're here to stay. We've got a lot of going for us. New cameras coming out. Panasonic's definitely keeping up. The GH5s just had a new firmware update in November, so the G9. So they're obviously still updating the firmware. They're still developing, doing development for these cameras. They're coming out with a new GH6. They've got new micro four thirds, like professional video cameras coming out. The little cube BGH1 cube, there's still a bright future in micro four thirds. I believe there is. If you don't, leave a comment. All right, guys. Thanks. Have a great day, and I'm out of here.